Hello, hello.
Hi. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great.
It's podcast day.
Yay.
This is the Scoop Weddings Unveiled. Tim Schaus, TLS Entertainment, your premier DJ with the beautiful and wonderful Brandy Harlan, your non-retired wedding planner. We're back.
We are. I've missed your face.
It's been a minute, and I've missed your face.
Well, I saw you last Friday night.
Yeah, so last Friday night, I was at Molly's DJing, and DJ Joey, Joey Horn, came out. It was nice to reconnect.
It was so good.
It was good to see him.
And I was contemplating coming out because it was like, oh gosh,
no.
I just worked all day.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I was tired.
You're like, you're like, I'm going to stay out for 1 hour and then I'm going to go home.
Exactly.
3 hours later.
He's throwing me out there. I paid for 1 hour parking and then I got the little alert. Okay, 1 more hour.
Yep. 30 more minutes.
And then I didn't pay for 30 more minutes. No. I just paid for the 2 hours. And then when it ran, I was like, okay.
Yep.
Slowly making it
That's
to my
what happens when you get Joey and I DJing together.
Right?
It's a good time.
It's fire. That intro that you put together to market it.
Oh,
boy.
thank you.
I was like, okay, I have to go. That's too much energy just on Instagram for me not to be there.
Well,
yeah,
good.
It was good. I had fun.
That's
I was
good.
a groupie for you. I got you free drinks.
Yeah, thank you.
So a lady walks up to us, and she's like, you seem to know the DJs really well. Can you get him to play some Daddy Yankee or something like that, or Bad Bunny or something?
That's why you, okay,
that's why
yes.
I brought you the tequila and lemonade.
Oh, my goodness.
I was like, yeah, he'll take a tequila and lemonade, and I'll get that right on for you. I should have been like,
that's what Joey was drinking, and I was like, whatever you're drinking, Joey, I'll have. So.
Oh, yeah. Joey was helping with the
Joey had a great time.
Yeah.
We need to do that again. Joey, I don't think he listens to this, but if, yeah, that was fun. That was a good time.
It was.
But we're coming up to we're in almost the middle of August now.
Yeah.
So we are still outside of our wedding season. However, I'm outside of wedding season, obviously I'm DJing at Molly's in downtown Sarasota and in various other places, although I do have a wedding Friday.
Oh, yeah, that's that ceremony only one?
Nope, that was 2 weeks ago.
Oh, that was outside? How was it?
It was fine. It was just a ceremony.
Okay.
Easy peasy. Good. Now the wedding coming up is actually, it's on Friday. It is outdoor, and right now it is like 110 degrees out and humid. And
it feels like 125 from what I understand. It feels
insane, and this is all of it's outdoor. The ceremony's outside. It's in Bradenton. It's actually at a private property. It's not the Shangri-La place, but it's very similar. It's at like a freaking mansion, which is a really cool backdrop. But again, it's going to be outside, and it's summertime. It could rain.
Yep.
It's either going to rain or it's not.
Yeah, it's 50-50
And I asked the bride. I was like, "Hey, we went through the logistics and everything, getting everything situated, and I was like, not that this is going to happen. And I always hate bringing this up to a couple or a bride. And, it's like, don't ever talk about this particular thing to a couple. But I'm going to, because what's your plan if it rains? I was just like, what's your plan? She's like, actually, we don't have one. We were just planning on dancing in the rain. But now that I'm talking to you, I understand that you probably have some equipment that you probably don't want to get wet.
She didn't read that contract, did she? Because it says it in your contract.
So I will be bringing a tent. And I said,
wait.
I'm sorry, it's going to be an eyesore, but I need to. 1 is hot as balls out, and I need to protect my equipment just from overheating. And then 2, if it rains,
then you're really screwed.
Then you're screwed.
Yeah,
I'm screwed, and we're all going to be screwed together.
Screwed, blued, and tattooed.
Yeah.
That's what we used to say.
So,
and are they from here?
No.
Or no? Okay, this is why. That was the question I was dying to ask, because they cannot be.
No, they're not from here.
Florida.
Nope. They, I don't know where they're from, actually.
A northern state.
A northern state, and their entire wedding party is they're all flying in. There's about 50 guests.
They've never felt this kind of heat, though.
20 of them are all part of the bridal party in the family. Yeah, so they're only 30 additional guests aside from. Yeah, but and we got everything. We got the timeline figured out. We got everything done, which is great. The intros, I said, you didn't give me any songs for intros, so what particular song would you like for your bridal party to walk out to? She's like, oh, I have a song for each individual couple, and there's 10 couples
For the recessional?
for the intros
For processional.
for the intros, grand introductions
To the reception.
to the reception.
Got it.
Yes.
There's multiple entrances, so I'm always
Well,
like,
When I
entrance
talk
to
about grand
ceremony?
entrance, I'm always talking about reception.
I'm always talking about
Yeah,
wedding
I know.
ceremony.
Yeah. So for the grand entrance, there are 10 couples. So there are 10 songs. She's like, I can give it to you the day of. I'm like, no, you're going to give that to me now
Yeah.
because I need to prep. And there's a lot more prep work than just like giving me the songs. And you can tell me what they are. I may not have them.
Or you may play the wrong one.
Right. One of the songs is, that Margarita song? It's called the Margarita song.
No. You gotta sing it. I don't know.
Adam, do you know the Margarita song?
I do know that song.
We haven't introduced you yet, but you know what? We're
Go ahead,
gonna
tell us what that song is.
Do you know how it goes?
Yeah,
You want to sing it
Go
for
for
us?
it.
I can. Give me one margarita. I'ma open my legs. Give me two margaritas.
So yes,
Oh,
it's
wait.
give me one margarita. I'ma open my legs.
oh, he
give me
knows
two.
it word for word.
Yeah,
I
give me
do.
two
You know the whole-
margaritas. I'ma give you some head. Give me 3 margaritas. I'm gonna put it in my
Mm,
3.
meow.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh my
Yes.
God. Well, we have a guest today.
Yes. Welcome, Adam.
Well,
Hello.
I had some events happen though.
Adam Krajkowski.
Yeah.
He's from Bishop Museum.
Yes.
Your old partner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My buddy.
Hello.
But anyway, so we're gonna get back to you, Adam, in just a
Just a
second. But I
second.
appreciate you
No problem.
singing that
I will
for
karaoke
not for
anytime
me,
you.
but for
Kitty.
Brandy because she
He
really.
said, meow.
I'm gonna put it in my meow. Yes.
Okay.
So that's one of the songs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to listen to that one.
I don't think there's
Well, that's
any.
awesome. You have a wedding coming.
Yes, I have a very hot wedding, and I'm
Do they have a planner?
no.
Probably not.
No,
Yeah.
they have the coordinator for the venue.
Okay.
But the unfortunate thing is with this particular venue, just like any other residential place, neighbors are, and granted, music has to stop at 10 because of noise ordinance, but
Is it 10?
in Manatee County.
Mm-mm.
Well, is it 11?
It's 11.
Is it? Okay. So I thought that.
Because at the Bishop,
Mhm.
cute Adam, it was 11 and they were across from the police station.
Okay.
Music off at
So
11.
11. I guess the venue is telling them 10
Oh,
because of
okay.
the neighbors.
Probably resident, yeah. Makes
So,
sense.
Anyway, so they originally had me scheduled to 11, and the venue coordinator was like, "Nope, we're setting music at 10." I'm like, "Okay, that's fine."
You're like, okay, bye.
But you know what? The actual wedding itself, on paper, looks fun.
Mhm.
The couple is super nice, and we'll see what happens. So
That's awesome. Well, I had 2 events happen last week.
you did.
Yes.
One of
my
which was right
first 2.
before you coming to Molly's on Friday.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that.
Yeah, so Friday, what was that? Friday night I came. Yeah, so Friday was an engagement party. So shout out to Nina and Kevin. Kevin is one of the owners of Siesta Key Rum,
Mm-hmm.
which I have to go do a rum tasting. But they're like 1:30 on a Monday.
Was it an
and I'm like,
engagement? Are they having their wedding at?
No, it's
No.
at Baker's. It's fine.
Really?
Yeah, it's fine. I'm not mad. It's fine. But no, they were delightful. They had about 50 people. They used the inside of our retreat center. They had music going through the Alexa app and just really chill, great people. They had a bartender and they brought a lot of Siesta Key rum.
Of course they did.
Yeah, I did not drink any. I came to Molly's to drink after.
Yes.
That was
And
fun.
drink did you?
Did I?
You did.
I
We
didn't
had a
wake
good
up
time.
feeling weird.
Well, I mean, it doesn't mean you have to feel weird. We just had a good time.
We did have a good time.
Yeah.
I don't know how many I had. But there was a lot of fun characters at Molly's.
Oh, yes. It's a very diverse group.
It was very, like, dude next to me was dreads down to his butt.
Yep.
And I thought the guy next to him was trying to take him home. And so we just kept bantering about that. But yeah, it was. And then the outfits, you called it. It's the ladies are small garments on the top, big garments on the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
and guys are big garments on the top, like sweatshirts,
Mm-hmm.
and half wool looking sweatshirts, and tiny shorts.
Or tight pants, yeah.
Or tight pants. Yeah, it's kind of,
The
it was
trends,
interesting.
the fashion trends
Yeah,
have changed.
because we were definitely like 10 years plus, most of the people in there. Well, I'm 10
I was
years
gonna say,
plus.
chill, dog.
Fine. We're both 5 years plus, most of the people that were there. But it was good. It was fun. I couldn't believe how many people they fit in that place.
I know, yes, and that's why. A couple weeks prior, when I was DJing, it was insane. It was busting out the door, and then the following week is when they started doing.
Taking count in the wristbands.
Well, they had a cover,
Oh,
get
the
in.
cover, yeah.
and so that was
How you kick the
kind of
cheap
like weaning people out, and
Yeah,
but it was still busy, and it was still a good time. So
It was good.
I love, it's a cool little bar. It's not huge, but it's such
Yeah.
like it's an open format. You can literally play any type of music. With Joey and I, Joey's, he loves like hip hop.
Yeah, he
So
was trying to get Ratchet at like
He loves
10
Ratchet.
o'clock.
Yeah, yeah. He was like, "Can we get Ratchet yet?" I'm like,
Ratchet? And you're
"No."
like, can we wait a little later?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I was
Yeah,
like,
he
"No."
was trying to throw
and
down.
so he was trying to throw down, and so I was like, "You know what? Let me take over."
Like, move out of the
so
way.
yeah,
to keep
so
the
he went and hung
temptation
out with you
down.
for a little bit, and I, I was playing, I think, like some like '90s music,
Yeah.
like earlier in the night, and then I want to say around 10:30, 10:45.
It got a little more Ratchet, but
What
not.
was that?
It got a little more.
Oh yeah,
Ratchet.
I slowly
Yeah.
started getting a little Ratchet, and then I'd high-fived him in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he came in and went to town.
Oh yeah, he did. He sure did. And then at midnight I left and I heard it got more Ratchet.
Oh yeah, yep.
I don't even know.
Yeah,
what
you
happened.
and Joey left, and then it was just me for the last hour.
I know. We left like almost like right back to back.
Yeah. So, but it was a
Poor
good time. It's always a good time there.
Yeah.
And yeah, shout out to Molly's downtown Sarasota and the Evie's group. So Molly's is owned by
Yeah,
the
they
Evie's
have the
group.
restaurant next door.
So
So,
they
if you
have-
get hungry, I was like, that's the
Mhm.
perfect thing to have connected to a bar. It's like, oh,
Mhm.
let me pop over and grab a bite.
Yep. Evie's Tavern. They've got Evie's downtown. They've got Evie's on the range off of. If you guys are local to Sarasota, they're off of Bee Ridge. They've got. They also own Evie's at Spanish Point down in Nokomis,
Mhm.
which is right in the water. Beautiful views. They've got, I believe, an Evie's up in Ellington. I don't know if it's still there. Yeah, they're all over the place.
Yeah, I want to say there's one up that way. Yeah. So then on Saturday,
And then Saturday, yes, tell us.
was a graduation party for our founder's husband, and it was retro theme.
What does that mean?
It means there was a whole lot of burnt orange and browns and greens, and it was retro vibes.
Okay.
There was a Vespa photo booth set up.
Oh,
Pretty
yeah.
cool.
Yep.
And a combi keg was there, so they had their Volkswagen bus serving alcohol and like wine and things like that from their combi keg. What else did we have? We had Planet Events did balloons. Happy Tots did a wood backdrop where they had like a whole like hit congrats Troy.
Okay.
Reina's Taqueria was there, which love their tacos. They had disco balls for glasses, like for cups, like your drink went into a disco ball with a straw, or a graduation round, like circle graduation with a cap on it, like a graduation cap.
okay.
So yeah, and all the planning was done by Kingsley Event Consulting. So Samantha did all that. It was good. It was hot, but it was like
Yes.
over 100 people, but it was good. So back to back,
Yes.
it was really good.
All right. Well, good stuff.
So you have a wedding coming up.
So
and
wedding-
then September.
Wedding Friday. Gosh. And then I'm probably at Molly's just for like the next like couple of weeks, and then
Okay.
September hits, and it's like we gear up for wedding season again.
Yes. Well, I'll come visit more at Molly's, I promise.
Yes, please do.
It'll be on a night that I don't have to work and I can, show up not
Friday.
tired.
Fridays are the night. So yeah, that's that. And well, I have a few other things I want to talk about, but let's go ahead and reintroduce our guest today.
Yeah.
We have Adam Krajkowski.
Yes.
And if you are, yes, thank you for scooching over. If you were watching us on YouTube, you can see his name being spelled Krajkowski. Krajkowski.
Yes. Very Polish. So
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, and mine. Yeah. So, Adam, tell us a little bit about you, what you do, all of the things.
Yeah.
What your deal is.
Yeah. So not a Florida native, actually, from Michigan.
Imagine that.
I know, isn't that
Where in
weird?
the mitten?
I am right there in Saginaw, aka Sag Nasty, if you're really from it.
Sag Nasty. Okay.
Nasty. I moved down about 4 years ago with my husband. He was a resident at Sarasota Memorial Hospital,
Okay.
so we made the little jaunt on down. Started off with preschool teaching and directing, and then kind of wanted to change gears. So now I work at the Bishop Museum of Science and Nature in Bradenton. It's a great place just to visit with your kiddos, your family, lots of fun things to do. We also do some great children's birthday programming and also a wedding venue.
Yes.
And that is where you'll find me.
And that's how
as-
you and Brandy met, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
she was my former boss.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't like that word, but yeah.
She's my former leader.
Yes. we
Former
do-
leader,
We
yes.
do use that.
We
yeah,
do
yeah.
use that.
We were a collaborative though. So
Oh, yeah.
when Nicole left and went to Lakewood Ranch to like run all their events, I feel like I take people and they do events and then they like up and leave me. In this case, I left Adam
Yes.
in charge of
Aw.
everything, but I knew it was in good hands. And so he came to me via Swell, actually. So
Okay.
Jordan and Brittany both said, hey, why don't you check out, there's a job opening at the Bishop.
Yes.
And so we did a lot of interviews.
yeah. Three
Three.
interviews.
I was forced to do 3. I could have done 2. It would have been fine. So the first one he did with just me, and then the next one he did with a group of all the other leadership there.
Okay.
Just because when you work at the Bishop, you're not just in a silo, right? So all the things that you do and all the decisions that you make and all the events that you book affect a lot of different departments, up to like 7 or 8 departments,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think. Yeah.
100 and different assets of craziness.
Yeah, so it
honestly.
just depends on what that looks like.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to make sure that the leadership team saw what I saw in Adam. And I really just loved, it was more personality. Like I didn't really care about experience. And so that kind of leads us into what our topic is today. And it's about anybody that is new or trying to get in the industry. We brought Adam on because that's really what he did. So tell me, so I love my Adam. I'll just tell you that.
Uh-huh.
But tell me about he has college degrees that are nothing to do with the industry.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone, degrees
Yeah.
really
Pretty
matter
much.
at this point in the world.
But tell him about your fancy degrees because I'm
Let's
just
hear.
so proud of Adam.
Ooh.
Thank you. My fancy degree. So I do have an undergraduate degree in psychology.
Okay.
So I mean, hey, dealing with people, it's all that kind of mindset
Yes.
and finding their quirks and things like that. So I have that. And then I also have a master's in education with specializations in post-secondary leadership and then general pre-K through 12th grade education.
Where'd you go to school?
Michigan State University for both.
Ooh.
The best.
Don't
Simply
give
the
him that
best.
face. This is my Adam.
It was my favorite years of my life going down there.
There's bad blood between Michigan and Michigan State.
Yes, there is.
Michigan is not spoken in my household. They're not nice people typically.
So and I hate saying my former wife,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Megan. Shout out Megan. What's up, girl?
Hey, girl.
She is from Michigan, from
Mhm.
Traverse City.
Okay.
And she would always go down to Ann Arbor to
Yes.
Michigan. And I forget what they would always, I forget what people would say about Michigan State.
That we're the best.
Mistake
no.
on the lake.
Mistake on. I don't know if it was
I
that.
don't know if
It had
that's
something to do.
There's something that's called a mistake on a lake. I
No.
don't know which one that is.
But I feel like it had something to do with like the colors, green and I don't know.
Oh.
No,
Um,
Michigan. Everyone makes
well,
fun of
everything-
their maize and blue because it's maize. It's not yellow, it's maize.
Oh.
They're
Maize.
very protective over that color.
Oh,
Well,
geez.
it's just go blue for them.
Yeah.
But anyway,
He said
Mhm.
yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, okay. So you have undergrad, masters, nothing to do with what you're doing now.
Nope, not at
Same
all.
here. I
Yeah.
feel that.
I mean, that's the way the world works.
Bless you, Brandy. So before we get into like how you got into the wedding industry and like how like the actual topic, I want to first backpedal a little bit
Okay.
from the past 2 podcasts that we've had
Uh-oh.
talking about the knot.
Oh, yes.
And the
Lord
knot
Jesus.
scandal continues.
Does it?
It does.
Does this mean I should sign up just so I can get my free stuff? Because you know they need me.
There's nothing free that you're going to be
Oh.
getting.
I mean,
However,
heavy discount.
so just as a recap, you know, for those of you who don't know, if you don't know, crazy. But the knot was outed by I think the New York Post,
yes.
saying that basically if you are a paying advertiser, wedding vendor, you're getting fake leads.
Yep.
Essentially, is what it was saying. And I've been saying that for the longest time, even not being an advertiser.
And I've been saying you're wrong.
Right, but I think it's different for venues. Like
It is.
venues,
Oh, yeah.
venues is different. But if any other wedding professional, I feel like it's. I mean, especially for entertainment, it's just like there's so many entertainment companies, and there's so little leads. So you're promised one thing, and you don't receive it. So what do? They just give out fake leads, and that's what that's honestly
That's a
I feel
lot
like
of work.
Yeah.
you gotta do what you gotta
Who has
do.
the
Like
time?
that's who has time to
Who
create?
has the time?
I mean, you could probably use AI or
Oh, yeah.
ChatGPT.
I'm sure that was
But-
that was before chat or AI and everything. However,
Like they just create all these bogus email addresses. Like
I-
how does that even?
who knows? They've figured out
crazy.
how to do build this whole platform. So I'm sure they can easily just say, okay, here's a name, a fake email, and then like give you a fake lead or whatever. But anyway, ever since that came out, I've received probably like 5 to 7 emails from Wedding Wire and the Knot saying, and one comes from Tim Chi. Hold on.
Tim G.
The CEO of the Knot Worldwide. And of course, the subject line reads, "Our commitment to you." And on the heels of recent media coverage, I wanted to reach out directly. First, let me speak clearly and unequivocally. We do not tolerate any fraudulent or unethical practices on our platform and in our company. We don't know why these articles repeat out-of-date, inaccurate, and misleading claims years after they were thoroughly investigated and resolved. First of all, I don't think they're inaccurate. I don't think they're misleading. I think they're
Truth.
I think it's truth. And in this email, he then goes to say, "We are investing in upgrades now." Well, why now? All of a
Security's
sudden-
been breached. We
All
have
of a
to go
sudden now you're going to invest in upgrades? Based on feedback, we're investing in tools that can help you stay organized, save time, and get more bookings faster. We've started unifying the Knot and Wedding Wire tools and introducing new solutions such as the Wedding Pro inbox and insights. First of all,
That
no.
doesn't fix the lead problem.
No. Improving support and account management? No. Strengthening partnerships and hearing from you?
No.
You can hear from me all you want. You're not going to do anything. You're not going to get me new leads. First of all, there's
He's a little
80.
wound up about
Yeah,
this
he
topic.
is.
There's
He's mad.
80,
He's
80
mad.
different DJ and entertainment companies in the DMV region, which is Washington, DC, Baltimore, and Northern Virginia, which is where I've just started advertising in because I've branched out into that area.
Awesome.
There's also 80 plus DJs in Tampa in the entire market. How the heck am I? And I'm one of, I think, 20 featured DJs in both markets.
So
How? And you're going to guarantee that I get 15 to 20 leads a month, and I think last month I received 4.
So mathematically speaking, for each DJ to get 3 to 4, we'll say 4 because it's easier, times 80. So 4 8.
Well, paying DJ.
4 times
Not
8.
that
Let's say
easy.
20.
What is
240. So that's how many people would have to be engaged and reach out in a month.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
That's
people.
crazy.
I mean, here's the thing. There's one thing that never changes. People are having babies and people are getting married and people are dying, right? So the 3 businesses that people, it's a consumable is weddings, hospitals, doctors, and funeral homes. Okay. So that's kind of how that works. But there cannot be that many people getting engaged, especially in a non-engagement season. Like in Florida, I mean, I think across the United States, there's an engagement season. That is Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year, Valentine. So basically November through February.
But how do
That's
you
your hot spots.
like? You're literally on like a fold of just met like just different entertainment companies. So like, how do you just get chosen and then?
Have you ever gone on from the client side to see like what it looks like? And do you just like click DJs and your area and they just like blast
All
them
of them. Yeah, the Spotlight are the first ones, and depending on the region, there's only a certain amount of Spotlight, which are like the main ones, and you pay buku dollars on that one. Then after Spotlight is Featured, and
the Bishop is featured or
and then after that is Pro.
I don't know if Pro or Featured, but I think it was like $2,800 or something like that every 4 months
crazy.
or 3 months.
It's every 3 months.
Every 3 months, $2,800.
Yeah,
it's insane.
So I got quoted $1,125 a month.
Yep,
a month.
And
so
the thing is, you have to sign up for 1 year.
Yes.
And you can't get out of it.
Nope.
And that means you don't believe in your product. Sorry.
Yeah, true. So speaking about that, I signed up for Here Comes the Guide, which is for venues only.
Okay.
And it's month to month. I can cancel anytime.
Yeah.
And they push and they promote. They have us listed as like the top 5, one of the top 5 venues to book in this area. Like, because I've had such a great relationship with her name is Mary Claire. I love her name. And she's followed me from venue to venue, right? So I always know to reach out to her and get that set up. But she's always just done such a great job of promoting, and they promote you. And so she's like, it's a new venue. It has a great cause. I'm going to put you in one of the top 5 venue spaces because you're new. Everybody needs to know about you. And so she really, and they don't work on commissions either.
Yeah.
So one of my experience was with the Knot or Wedding Wire. I asked the lady to send me like a breakdown because, you know, they spit all these prices at you. I said, can you put that into like, I don't know, a 1-pager and tell me like the difference in the pricing and my benefits, right? And she's like, well, no, but I can schedule a call to go over it with you. And I'm like, I think they come up with a price when you're speaking with them, and based on like what your venue costs and what you can do and that kind of thing, like what your desired goals for booking or whatever that looks like. I think they charge you based on your capacity to make money. So then they don't seem like they're such a big expense.
Yeah.
Whereas Here Comes the Guide, it's 3 options. It's $125 a month. You can quit anytime. You can take a pause. You can take a break. You know, we're going to feature you. And they really, really work hard on the SEO and the keywords and the Google.
Yeah. I mean, one thing is, I mean, obviously, if you Google DJs Sarasota, Wedding Wire does come up.
Well, yeah, they pay for it.
So that's fine. I mean, that it is what it is. But
once you get in there, that's when you get saturated.
Yeah, it's in this email, you know, introducing quarterly updates. Moving forward, I'll send business updates once per quarter. I don't give a shit about your business.
But what about the email you weren't supposed to get?
Well, I forgot about that.
You're saying
I got an email saying that we're so sorry to see you leave.
Oh.
I was like, you guys are canceling me now?
Cancel culture.
Cancel culture.
And then I got an email the next day saying, sorry, we didn't mean to send that to you. I'm like, get your shit together.
Yeah, that makes me feel to have confidence in them if I'm getting canceled.
Zero.
And then I say, whoops.
And then the last thing that this email says from Mr. Tim Chi is, we know there is always more work to do, and that topics such as lead quality, search results, and support account management are top of mind for many. It's our priority to continuously create a better experience for you. Well, you ain't doing shit, because I've had...
Have you called to try to cancel?
Oh, you won't cancel. That was...
Have you called to try to cancel?
No.
I mean, do you want to cancel? You're just going to ride this wave out.
I'm going to ride it out. I've told myself I'm going to give it a year.
Okay.
Because
I like
what
that for you.
Yeah.
And you're in a new demographic.
Well,
so
that's the whole thing.
That's really the
I'm
kicker
also
for you.
I'm also doing like ads, you know, social media ads in that area. Trying to update the videos on like a couple like bi-weekly basis just to keep it fresh. I've got one coming out soon. It's going to be fun.
I bet it is.
Does it feature the Margarita song?
No.
Then it's not fun enough.
It's not the best.
One margarita.
Book TLS. 2 margarita. Book TLS.
Yeah, right. Book the photo booth, all the things. But anyway, so like, what are your thoughts? Does Bishop advertise in the Knot?
So we do utilize that. I will say we have gotten some crazy things before. Like the names alone
are kind of weird.
Are weird. And I mean, hey, we all have beautiful different names, but some of them are literally.
That's what I'm saying.
It looks like someone just went on their computer and blindly typed and just like sent an inquiry.
Right.
And it's like a weird inquiry. So you'll have this weird name. you'll have this kind of weird email.
Or a weird date too.
Weird date.
Like a Tuesday.
Yeah.
In like, I don't know, July. And you're like, okay, that seems a little weird. But we do utilize that. And the thing about us is that then we move you to HoneyBook, where you're going to get our automated emails, our constant contacts and things like that.
And do they ever respond?
No,
Exactly.
I think that's what weeds them out, because then when we put you in there, you're going to start getting these emails and things. And I don't know if whatever they have going for them can respond like that, but that weeds it out. So then we kind of get those solid leads. So
And then you
sure.
archive them.
Yeah, and then you just get rid of them.
Yep.
And
I
they're
think
weird dates.
In the I'm going on 3 or 4 months now,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm on Wedding Wire, not the Knot, but I'm on the Wedding Wire side. 3 or 4 months, I think I've had maybe, like the first couple months, I got quite a few leads, quote unquote leads, but 99% of those did not respond.
I would be interested to know if you could pull, and I know you can, but if you pulled, and I know you track everything, I taught tracking is very important, because otherwise you don't know what the hell you're doing. I would be interested to see in the last, like, say 6 months, of those leads, which ones came from the Knot, which ones came from Wedding Wire, which ones got a response, which ones came for a tour, and which ones booked. Like, what's that
Like the
ROI
breakdown
conversion
for it,
rate?
yeah.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see, like, what that looks like from somebody that's had it for so long, just to kind of get an idea of, like, okay, like, what is our return on investment compared to this?
Yeah.
And what can they promise next year? And you might have a negotiation
That's true.
for next year if you pull that out and say, okay, given the recent news articles, and I've done the ROI, and we have a proven system that works, and we have constant communication, 7 different emails go out. We don't hear, this is how many we've heard back from, this is how many booked, this is how many toured, this is where we're at. Like, we need a better rate, or we're
That's a
jumping.
great idea.
Because
Yeah,
like I've
definitely look
reached
at
out,
those.
like I always respond on Wedding Wire, and then I immediately take their email and I reach out to them through my content management system, and I'll send them a separate email.
Yeah.
Basically, saying thank you for reaching out to us via Wedding Wire. We'd love to, chat with you more. Here's our information. Here's our pricing and package info and so forth. I don't know. I'm just but I do think that venues have more of an upper hand with like actual leads than photographer or like anybody else, because the venues are the first ones to be booked. So
exactly. And then too, on that, like, we're always like, hey, come for a tour, which is something a little more important. I think that
because they want to see it.
They want to see it. They want to get that feel, the experience.
I
And
can't be like,
think-
come take a tour of my DJ
of your
equipment.
DJ booth. Fun. So I think
You
that
could say, come check me out at Molly's
you could.
locally.
Yeah.
You could. But I think that helps kind of weed it out as well. Because if it's a real person, they want to get there. They
Sure.
want to feel it. They want to experience it. They're going to take that step to reach out and book a tour. So I definitely feel you're right with the venue point of view.
And then also, when you're a venue, you have a little bit more of a contoured niche, because you pick like barn, historic,
Oh, yeah.
property, mansion.
Yes.
Well,
Whereas DJs, do you have that, like,
Like specialization.
Special-
I mean,
Yeah.
yes, there are, but all DJs will say, well, I can DJ any
I do
Yeah, I
everything.
do
wedding.
it all.
Of
And
course, I bring my
I will tell you
CDs.
straight up. I, I will tell you straight up, like, not every wedding or couple is for me.
Oh,
And that's good.
100%.
And
Yeah.
it's good to know that, too.
And
There's been times where I'm like, okay, you know what? And I've said to couples before when I've done tours, like, even at the Bishop, I think it was my first couple of months, they ended up booking and getting married there. They were like, well, we were looking for this and this. And I was like, well, I don't think that that's what we have to offer you here. So I don't think we're the perfect venue for you. But here are some other options. They visited those other options and came back because they were like, you were just completely honest with us. You see our vision, and those other places didn't work out for whatever reason. But because I basically said, we're not the right fit for you, they came back because they knew that honesty was there. So it's nice to know what that parameter looks like, even if they don't come back to you.
yeah, I mean, there are, for example, if like a couple is looking for, they're really into country music. They love country music and so forth. That's a big niche. You don't see that a lot. But like all they want to do is like line dance music. And let's just say I'm booked. Well, none of my team members are really I mean, they're not like enough to like get by for like background music, but not to dance to. So
They're not
in that
out there
case, I'd be like, you
teaching
know
line
what?
dances like you.
Yeah, no. In that case, I'd be like, unfortunately, we aren't the right fit at the moment. I'm currently booked, and the rest of the team, just doesn't fit that mold.
Of course.
So thank you for reaching out. So like, I have no problem doing that, but yeah, it's most entertainment companies are like, oh, I can do anything, and
they can't.
they try. They just want to get the booking. They want to get booked.
And then afterwards, it doesn't really matter, I guess.
No, it doesn't. And then you realize you either had a good night or a bad night, and that's too late. But with the venue, with the venue, it's do you want a barn? Do you want like
mansion,
Gothic
garden,
style, sea views, I don't
beach?
Hey, we may not care for the beach.
No, you want to know why I don't care for the beach? It's not that I don't care for the beach personally. I actually like going to the beach. Technically, I like going solo because otherwise I'm dragging the kids and they get stuff everywhere. But anyway, love my boys. The reason I don't love the beach is because that's how I cut my teeth in the wedding planning industry. I was one of 2 planners on Anna Maria Island, and I did every beach wedding that showed up in my inbox. I didn't care if it was 2 people cutting a cake on the car, which happened, and I was setting up the arch, going to pick him up at the hotel, bringing him over, going to pick her up, bringing him over. I do, cut the cake on my car, boom. To dragging chairs out or putting an arch up at 7 o'clock in the morning. And a lot of Northerners want beach weddings in the months that no one should be on the beach. So I really I really
you live and learn.
Really decided to do something.
But if you're trying to tap into the wedding industry,
you do what you can, and you do what you and you take everything. Yes. So for me, I think I cut my teeth in a more difficult way than a lot of other planners, because it wasn't like I could call up another planner and say, hey, can I be your assistant? That did not exist. That wasn't a thing. You were not welcomed. And today, though, you can call up a few planners and say, hey, I would love to. Well, I don't have a spot for you, but here's who does. Or I'm not having any assistants right now, but you might want to call this planning agency or check out this, because we all know that there's so much business out there. So it's a little different now. But back then, I was schlepping chairs, like, the little flat plastic piece that goes under the chairs when the tent rental company or rental company drops it off. It's like a plastic mold for the chairs, and the chairs sit on top of it like this.
Okay.
I used to take their jacks that they would tighten the chairs and tighten it, wrap it around my waist to haul the chairs out to where I needed them to go, because it was just me. Like, kid you not. Otherwise, I was back and forth wasting a lot of time in the sand. And I'm like, this is ridiculous.
I'll tell you one thing.
You were CrossFitting before it was popular? I don't know what that is.
I will steer away from a beach wedding.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I just did a beach ceremony, but that's all it was just a ceremony.
And with your equipment, sand probably gets everywhere.
Well, I won't.
Like
I won't. I've had many people, like many couples and events, reach out to me saying, "Hey, we're having an event out on the beach." Nope. Sorry. Thank you though.
I will never do another one.
Like, there is a company, Sarasota Wedding Company. He's a DJ, DJ Tyler. He's not like new in the industry, but I feel like he's new with his.
Friend requested me.
He's new to like with his business. He does videography, he does DJ. I believe he's a solo op as far as just him as a DJ, and he's got he's got a buddy who does video, and I see he's doing a ton of beach weddings, and by all means, my friend, go for it. Have at it. Kill it. I hope you take all of the beach weddings.
And get
that
all
way
your
I don't
reviews.
have to.
Get all your reviews. Get all make a name for yourself, and then you can pick and
He's
choose.
definitely doing something, because he's doing a great job. I give him props for everything that he's putting out there, and but yeah, so how to get into the wedding industry, that's the main topic for today.
Yeah.
What do you take us along that journey? What does that look like?
Well, I think it looks different for everyone. So for me, I planned a sister's wedding, and then I was like, I kind of like this. And then my very first wedding that I executed, I felt like J-Lo. I had I had the little walkie-talkie on my head.
Did you have the little earpiece?
I sure did.
I'm jealous.
And want to know why? Because it was 300 people out on a clearing.
It was just you.
You told me
me
that.
by myself.
So why did you have an earpiece? For who?
For the people riding the golf cart, dropping people off.
She just wanted to feel special. Okay, let her be.
All right, go ahead and send them this way. You're not
Yeah,
actually talking to anybody.
Right. Oh, hold on. Let me check with my people. Okay. Yep, that's a go. Yep, we're gonna go with that. But no, I had to communicate to the guys that were on the golf carts because they were dropping people off, and it was a lot. And then the RV broke down on the way to the country club with the whole entire bridal party in it. So I had to keep telling people no, they couldn't eat dinner, and they were so mad at me. But the country club put it out like super stinking early. And I was like, people walking in starving.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you didn't hire me. You didn't pay me. I was like all cocky with it. Like, you didn't pay me. So until the bride and groom are here, you're not eating.
I'm dead.
Mm-hmm.
And then they finally got there. And then the fish died in the centerpieces because the dad closed the cooler the night before. Because they were Gator graduates. They met at US, or what is it? UF.
University of
those
Florida.
people.
Those people.
I'm not a fan.
Oh,
of
you're
that.
a Miami fan.
Thank you.
Go
The
Knowles.
The U. And so there was just like these tulip faces or whatever with like a blue ribbon, and they had orange fish, as many orange fish as they could find that were slightly orange, some more, or, you know. So because you can't go to Walmart and tell them that you're using them for decoration. And at that time, this was like, 17, 18 years ago. So you had to tell them that they were feeder fish. And then so dad closed the lid on the cooler where all the fish were at night, and most of them died. So they had to go buy new fish the next day. So I'm over here transporting like fish and trying to weed out the dead ones and put like a live one per vase. It was a lot. But to this day, I see them out. I saw her at Cooper's Winery a few weeks ago. And
Cooper's Hawk?
Yeah. And then the night you and I went out downtown St. Pete, and we went to Dirty Laundry. That's who I ran into. They were out celebrating, and and then now they just announced they're having their 4th baby.
Oh.
So
Wow.
I love the Kofers that are awesome. But and then from there I was like, okay, I used the heck out of those photos. If I could pull up my marketing material from then, oh man, it was called Happily Ever After Weddings. Was my name?
Oh,
of the business.
Lord, not the
Yes,
happily ever
it was.
after.
Nobody else had it.
Okay.
It worked. And I had the pumpkin from Cinderella as my
Bibbidi
logo.
boppity boo.
That's right, because I was your fairy godmother. And it was
God.
teal, and that's what my wedding business was Happily Ever After Weddings and Events. And so that's kind of how I got started. I did mostly on the island. I did Sandbar. I did what used to be what was it? The Sunset something another across from the Moose Lodge. I had a specific spot on the island where I would go down White Avenue, and I would commandeer that beach as fast as possible when it was a beach wedding, like 7 o'clock in the morning. Greg would go out there and put the arch up. And we had houses that we used for weddings, and now they're a little bit more strict, but that's where I did majority of my weddings. And so that's kind of how I got started, and just word of mouth, and kept going from there. It wasn't easy, because I was like 24, no clue what I was doing. But then Jen joined me, and it was a lot easier, and she helped out a lot. But, we just we did crazy things. I will say that was one of the things that we always did, is we always came up with really creative, crazy ideas and wowed our people. So if they would say, oh, I saw this idea, we would take it to the next level, because we were young and dumb, and we're like, yeah, we can do that. And then in the midst of it, we're like, why did we say we could do this? This is awful. At 2 o'clock in the morning, and you're still sewing pillows that are going on the beach for everybody to sit on. And you're like, screw this. We're using fabric glue. Break out the fabric glue. We're just going to glue them. And the night before the wedding, to doing string orchid walls that we came up, like we would string orchids. We'd fly them in from Hawaii and string them on a fishing line, hot glue the bottom so they would be all staggered on the line, and put flat back crystals. We used to do a lot of that. Draping ceilings at Palmasola Botanical Park. I thought I was going to die that day, because I created a balloon cluster and then draping by myself. So, I mean, you do kind of crazy things, but it pans out and it works, because it forces you to be resourceful and creative. And this was before Pinterest. So I would go into Michael's. This is my other thing I used to do. I would go into Michael's, and I would do my own designs in Michael's. I would gather like all the stuff that I needed to decorate a table of an idea. And
Did
I
you
would
take the pictures in Michael's?
I did. And then I would rearrange it and pull some other stuff and do another picture. I would rearrange it and do it, because I would get the couple style. And then I would go and do basically like my mock setups in Michael's, and then
That's
put
actually a
everything
great idea.
back.
That's a great idea.
And then I put everything back, and then I'd go home and like put it in a little nice email. Like, okay, we have this setting piece, we have this setting piece. I used to use star fruit with like florals coming out to kind of give like the tropical vibe. I would go and buy star fruit and cut them up and put them in my glass centerpieces. I did some really crazy things just to be creative and resourceful. But I mean, you'd walk in and there would be like hundreds of orchids stuffed in my fridge and no room for food. But I think that's what kind of sets you apart. You do those crazy things in the beginning. But yeah, that's kind of how I got started.
Love that journey for you. Mine was a little easier, I feel, than yours. I don't know why.
Because you're starting now.
I started now. Yeah.
It was harder back then.
Yeah.
You just didn't have the creative resources that are
Oh,
out
yeah.
now. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So my journey started with the COVID era of what am I doing with my life?
Ah, yes.
And I was just not happy at the job I had. And my parents were visiting. And the one day we went out to brunch together and we were sitting there and they said, you know, you're just not the Adam we know. And that just broke my little heart.
Aw.
And I was like, oh no, if people are realizing that, why am I not realizing that?
Yeah.
So when they said that, I kind of was taken aback. And then they're like, well, what would you want to do? And I said, oh, I don't know what I would want to do other than something in education. And then I kind of just went for it. And they're like, oh my gosh, what about like party planning? You love people. You can talk to them. I had done like my friend's wedding. I helped her with it. I mean, arranging centerpieces and hosting a, group of 30 in a cabin in Tennessee for the weekend with themed nights. And I had no clue what I was doing, but I'm like, I'll give it a shot for you, girl. And so I was like, oh, that's a good idea. And my dad said, Adam, you can do anything you put your mind to. You have the skills. And he goes, and that's something you have. So you need to explore that. So that night I went home and I got on Amazon and I ordered how to be a wedding planner, like 101. I swear to God. It was this
That's
lady.
awesome.
She had wrote this book. And I mean, it broke it down into like, you need to find your niche and what do you want to do? Would you want to be a funeral like one?
Oh,
Wouldn't that be a great
that's-
market down
that's
here?
a thing? I did just
Funeral
say.
event, like life, like celebrations and things was one.
Oh,
And I was like,
celebrations
that
is
would be like interesting.
That would be.
I don't like that. That's
Oh.
ookie spooky dookie to me. But for
I
someone,
never knew they
that'd be
needed
great.
somebody to do that.
100%. Yeah. Think of like the nursing homes you could get into.
Oh my
You could sell that so good. So I read her book. She was great. It was great. And I said, I think I can do it. And from there, I literally created a resume and I just made it very event planner-esque. And I knew I had the skill sets just from the different things I've done in my life. And I knew I could convert them to something. And I'm a person that if I want to do it, I'm going to read and I'm going to learn and I'm going to just do it with my heart and my full fury. And I did. And I cold called different planners. I just got my name out. Hey, do you need someone? Can I just talk to you about what it looks like? What does it look like for you in the industry? How did you start? And I met a ton of different people. Brittany and Jordan from Swell were amazing. And they actually both said, you need to talk to Brandy Harlan at the Bishop Museum. And I was like, oh, okay. So I just threw my resume and I had no clue what I was walking into. There was no job description I'd been given before. It was just, hey, let's chat. And I said,
Yeah.
okay, let's do it. And we went in there and then I just loved it.
And we just clicked like right
Yeah.
from the beginning. Like,
Yeah.
So
It was just
question,
easy.
Yeah.
question. Because I've talked to Brandy about this.
gosh.
Oh, no?
Well, Brandy says she's retired from wedding
Oh,
planning.
gosh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And on the screen here, it says Tim Schaus, TLS Entertainment Premier DJ. And it says Brandy Harlan, wedding expert. It also says wedding planner, non-retired.
Hmm.
Hmm.
That's interesting.
How
So
about
what if
that?
like y'all like teamed up?
We would
We've
run
t-
this.
We would.
We have said that if I get a venue, oh yeah, it's going
Oh,
down.
it
No,
would be
but I
you
think
don't
we could do it
100%.
together
You
prior
don't need a
to.
venue. You don't need a venue.
You
And
keep
I've
saying that.
no, because
love a
there are
venue.
so yes,
I want
I
a
agree.
venue.
I would love to have a venue as well, but all the
Eventually. I agree.
liabilities that come along with that and all the stress, instead of just like, you know what, I'm going to plan this person's wedding at whatever venue I want to, and then when I'm up and gone, Done. Don't have to worry about any other stress of that particular venue.
I just thought of a name.
What?
God.
Of
B&A.
BA?
Breaking. I mean, it can be a lot of things. B&A.
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 I like it.
B&A.
Sounds cute.
B&A events.
B&A.
BNA events. With a little TLS.
That's right.
TLS pumped
So-
in there.
I also know that Adam can decorate like the Dickens.
Oh, love decorating.
This-
I can. Oh,
like,
I
and
love
that's
it.
where I would rather.
But
I don't
but all
know-
I'm saying is, why not
I would rather just decorate.
have a
though.
team?
I would rather just.
I love coming up with visions. Like
That's
I'm.
me.
That's
I
like.
don't care if I never see the end of a wedding night ever again.
Yeah, that's
I'm
the hard,
good.
and that's the hard part.
I don't want to. I am.
But you know what? You don't have
too
to.
old for that.
You can help with the decorating, and you can stay for the party and then leave early.
I mean, we could be and then we would just have assistants or.
You would have
second
assistants, and
That
you,
would-
Jen,
that would
Adam,
finish out
all
the
of
night.
y'all.
Be like,
Mhm.
peace, we're deuces, we're out. Pack everything up and bring it back to the
Yeah.
back to the shop.
I would be the people person. I think. I love
He would
it.
be smoothing everything over.
I'm always the smoother.
Brandy,
Yeah, he
let me
is.
tell you, I was going through some of my videos on my phone,
Oh,
and I
Lord.
have a video of
Oh,
you.
no.
Gosh, how long? Let me just.
Was I prego dancing
I
around
think-
I hope
your
so.
DJ stand?
Yes, hold
Okay,
on.
the whole entire pregnancy. I literally worked until like a week before I had Ethan.
Yeah,
I was by the DJ booth just.
just vibing.
The-
Here
the
it
vibes,
is.
Oh,
the
yeah,
bumping
the
probably helped him
2018.
out.
Oh, he was so happy. He loves music still today and dances a ton.
He does. I love his
Yeah.
little dances.
He's so
Yeah,
cute.
2018,
Oh, boy.
June 2nd, actually.
Oh,
at
it was
Mixon's.
5 years ago, it just passed. Oh, I know what I'm doing. Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
salsa dancing. Oh yeah, June. I was 7.5 months pregnant.
Oh my
You were
gosh.
getting it. And all I have to say is I haven't had like the weddings that I've
So much
look at you
fun.
go just
I'm glad
Bumping away.
he's gonna have to like post that.
He,
so I
he
can
is. He's
enjoy
gonna be
it.
like
I'm
a
going to.
flashback.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna post this. All right, so we are 50 minutes into this podcast, so I'm gonna post this clip, and I'm gonna keep this
For
video with it.
perpetuity.
I am done.
He
I'm
has
gonna-
a lot of videos of me at weddings because we've
But-
done a lot together.
Right, we've done so many weddings together, and I've had the best weddings with you, and I just
Aw.
Yeah.
I don't blame you for not wanting to get back into them, for not wanting to have those long hours and those
I
late
know.
nights. However,
Mhm.
selfishly, I want you back at weddings.
That's a good song.
I want you.
I want
You
you back.
Da, 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 da. Yeah. Anyway, so
I'm trying to.
I like
all I'm
it.
saying
I like
is,
it.
you've got a team, and then you get some minions to work with you.
Don't call him that.
I know, I'm kidding.
Oh, Lord Jesus, not the minions. Not the minions.
I think they
The
should
minions
cause more
aren't-
trouble.
The minions aren't listening to this podcast, but you create a team to
We
which
could be.
you guys like. You each have your own niche at what you're really good at.
And you know
Mhm.
what's really funny? Is Jen's looking to do something.
Whoops.
Just putting her out there. I don't know if she wants.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: her husband just started his concrete pumping business. So shout out
Lovely.
to Dusty Aaron's concrete pumping.
Dusty Aaron.
I want
Dusty
that
Aaron.
done for my backyard.
Yeah. So he.
Okay,
Yeah.
well.
So yeah, he's your guy.
You have it. Time.
So what's really interesting is that because of where we are in life and we're just kind of to that point where we're like, we just want to be able to make our own hours and do our own thing and really, do what we love because why not? We're at that age. And I think she's looking to do something different as well. And she has such a huge depth of design. Like she can design online, she can cut vinyl, we can do engraving, that kind of a thing too. So I feel like there's more to what we can offer collectively
Mm-hmm.
now that Tim is saying that. Because I have these crazy design ideas and I need
Mhm.
somebody to make those things,
Mhm.
not just, oh, let me rent them from so and so or let me, buy them from Amazon. Like I really want to be able to have those decor items and us make them and take the crazy ideas that I always have in my head and put them out and have them get created. And work with I think a floral designer that works, selectively just with us would be amazing too.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is like when you were at Mixon's, you were there every single day.
Yep.
Friday, Saturday, Monday through Sunday, basically.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to do that.
No, I would not.
And you would get to
And
choose
That's
which.
probably what I'm
Yeah.
comparing it to, right? Like
Yeah.
the only thing I know
Because I mean,
is
we all.
that.
There was a point where we all got.
burned out.
Burnt
Thank
out.
you.
Yeah,
God.
burnout.
There's
we
a
all.
term for
real.
that. It's
Yeah.
compassion fatigue.
Oh, here we go.
It,
Oh.
it really
No,
is.
it's
No,
that is true.
But
True.
we all got burnt out at one
Yeah.
point, and especially during coming out of COVID.
Oh god.
That I mean, it was insane.
And that's
I
really
had
what did it for me.
I had 221 events and weddings booked that I did in 2021 and 2022.
So my last 6 months, or not, was it 9 months? So yeah, my last wedding was June. My first one was October. So what is that? 9 months, 10 months? In that 10 months and 9 months, I did 32 weddings in that time frame. So
That's
that's
just crazy.
That's a lot,
That is.
especially when, and it's not just like they weren't small.
Small weddings.
They
They were
were
elaborate. It was
intricate.
that
It was-
post-COVID world of
Yeah.
weddings where people wanted what they wanted. They couldn't have
I
it.
mean,
and it's
it was
now is the
crazy.
time.
And
Yeah.
it was Abby and Lucy's wedding
Mhm.
was one of them, and we had like projection mapping, and it was just like marigolds hanging, mariachi bands, like everybody went so gangbusters after COVID, and it wasn't like, okay, we postponed our wedding, but now we want to do it even bigger. So they weren't your normal run of the mill, like, okay, I could do this with my eyes closed. It was, oh, we're going bigger because we had to wait.
Exactly. That is the mindset. I even still see it, I think, to this day with the people coming in, and they had to wait, and now it's my time, and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it better than I ever could have imagined before.
Speaking of that, when was your wedding?
Mine was 2020. Mine was October of 2020.
So
So, it
just
was the start of COVID.
start of
kind
COVID.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, COVID started in March. Oh wait, no.
No,
Yeah.
it was December technically of 2019.
Well,
but then
2019, but
March
things
was when we got shut
things
down.
went things
Yeah.
got shut down in
So you
March.
we were in COVID.
Yeah.
So we
It was like towards the end of it though.
It
It was kind of
was-
like you should
Almost,
probably
yeah.
wear a mask.
The things were lifted.
It was
yeah.
weird because my family had flown down from Michigan, and that weekend before everything closed down, I mean, flights, grocery stores, when the panic buying started, that was the weekend we planned my wedding.
Oh.
They had came down, we planned everything, had it set up. The day before they left, it was all of us on our phones like, what is this COVID thing? What's going on? And my whole family like freaked out. My family had to fly back to Michigan. They were panic shipping things to their house, like toilet paper and stuff. And it was one of the hardest moments of my life because I was like, we just planned my whole wedding, and now I'm not going to be able to probably have it. And it was
Aw.
hard. It was a lot of tough conversations of me with my mom at like 10 o'clock at night being like, am I, a dick? Because now I want to have my wedding, and it's going to be, I want it to be fun. I want it to be engaging. And I had this dream. Am I asking too much of people? It was a hard decision.
Yeah.
And like riding that out, it was tough. But thankfully, all my people were safe. They're mostly in the professional field of medicine, so everyone was very mindful of one another. And we had masks, hand sanitizer at the wedding.
Where was
and
it?
It was Baker's Ranch is where I got married.
Oh.
And I don't think
Yes.
I've ever heard from that angle.
Who was your
somebody that
DJ?
planning in the middle.
Oh, DJ Jose or something, I
Not-
want to
Is
say.
that from
Not to-
Celebrations?
No.
No,
It was the
Grant
other.
Hemond?
I showed you
I
the
think,
one
yeah,
day.
Grant Haymond. Mm-hmm.
Maybe, yeah.
Damn, you didn't even choose us. That's messed
I'm
up.
sorry. Well, my planner was directing me towards certain people, I will say. I gave
Oh.
her my ideas, and she...
Oh, based on what you wanted.
Yeah, and she was a great planner there. I was very happy because
Who was your planner?
her name was Tila Carrington.
Oh yeah, Tila.
Yeah, I loved
remember
her.
Tila,
She
yeah.
was
Tila
great. I
awesome.
mean, she definitely hooked me up with the people that I needed for my wedding. Sometimes not for the fun part because it was extra money.
like
'cause
she-
my ideas
yeah.
were crazy.
Yeah, I feel like she ended up leaving shortly after that. I think.
Yeah, she
Left before Alla passed away.
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah.
way before Ala
Yeah.
passed
Yeah,
away.
I want to say she said we were one of the last weddings that she had
Oh,
done.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
she was great. I loved her.
And she's the one that actually brought me on as a preferred vendor, and
Wonder where
now
she's at now.
we're kind of being weaned out, but that's okay.
I heard that from some other vendors about vendors there. Just in not about you, but
I was
about,
like, really? Please spill the
I've-
tea.
I've
Just
had some
vendors in general not
bartending
being there.
companies come to me and say they've had that experience as well.
Well, you know what? I'm
And new people are going to do
New people, new
things and
experiences
whatnot,
and
but
things. Yeah.
you don't break what's not broken, or you don't try to fix what's not broken, right? So
Mhm.
I feel like that's happened at every venue that I've left. Like they've been tried to make it their own and fix it, but there was nothing broken in the first place. I understand making it your own, but when the core values are there, you don't have to change that. You can add and, you know, go above and beyond and add extras and things of that nature, maybe more amenities. But from the core of it, it should always be excellence and hospitality. That's what your core should always be. And if you follow that and you have a mission that's based on that and creating that atmosphere with your team, and also making sure that your team is a team. It's not I'm above you, I'm below you, I'm anything of that nature. I feel like when you do take over a venue, and I've taken over now, this is my third one, that as long as you lead with that, you're going to attract the right vendors, the right couples, the right team, and everything's going to work well. And I think that's why at Mixon's I had such an amazing team. I had 11 staff members. They're all subcontractors, but there was like 11 or 12 of us that worked together. After I left, there's only one left. That's Jen. And Jen's done in December. That's her last wedding. I think she has like 4 left. And so like all the bartenders, all the assistants, like everybody so it's when you lose that core of what's working, you just have to figure out how to get back to that. And the same thing at the Bishop. Like we worked collectively. It was never
the two of us.
The two of us. It was just 2 and we worked together like on anything and everything. Like I could be like, hey Adam, I'm slammed, can you work on this? Or did you talk to this person? What did you say? And we liked facing each other. Like we literally like
every phone call was speakerphone. We knew they would try to call me, then call Miss Brandy, and we said no. We know what you're saying, and we know what I told you. But it was, and you created a very good
I will say when you were at Mixon's, that was probably one of my favorite venues to DJ at.
Thanks.
And
this was supposed to be about Adam.
I know, but it is. But this is really my attempt to get you to start planning weddings again.
I told you I would. I just have to figure out the logistics of it.
Well, then I'm going to put you on my website, and I'm going to start offering
Don't use that photo that you have on our podcast, please.
Well, no, we're gonna we're gonna update it. We're gonna update. I have to get the photo booth up, and we'll take some headshots.
Fun photos.
We'll take some fun photos, and we'll update the photo on there. But
and I only want to do one a month, like execution.
You can do as many as you want. However, all I'm saying is when you were at Mixon's, that was my my favorite venue to be at. And when you left, it was sad. It was not fun. Like I would always consider like, all right, if I had weddings, I would have a wedding every single weekend. Oh, and I would look at the calendar like, oh, I'm at Mixon's. I have a home wedding tonight. Like, like a home, a home and away.
Yeah.
Well, I've got 4 home weddings coming up. Loved it because I would just go in. I knew where I was going to be set up. I knew how everything was going to work. I knew it was going to be a fun night. And regardless, even if it wasn't fun, I would still have fun with Brandy.
Yeah. We always had fun, even if it was like kind of blah or whatever the atmosphere was.
We would judge people together.
We would, or somebody tried to like pass out on us or anything of that nature. And I mean, we've had that a few times. A few groomsmen tried to like check out. Like, okay.
So what have you learned like coming into the wedding industry? Like, how long have you been in the wedding industry now?
Oh, a little over a year.
Oh, so you're fairly new.
Yeah,
still a baby.
Yeah.
So in that year, what have you learned, and what tips can you give to others as they are like wanting to get into the wedding industry from any part of the industry?
Yeah. So I definitely think utilizing the skill set that you have, no matter what job or past experience, beef it up. You can say, I've been great at logistics. I can, stick with a budget, or any of those kinds of skills are so transferable to this business, and you can sell yourself in that. So that's one of the main takeaways I thought about. The second one is you can't be afraid to do cold calling, because this business is ran on the people you know. So,
cold calling in what sense?
So, to try to get in here, I reached out to probably 15 wedding planners, and I didn't know them, and just asking.
Did they have good conversations with you?
Some of them were no responses. Hey, they might have been on wedding work. Maybe it was fake. Maybe
did you actually call or shoot it like an email?
I would email and then say, I would love a chance to speak with you.
Yep.
I had like a coffee date or 2, maybe with some of them, just to kind of see. And I wasn't even saying I want a job with you. It was more so I liked your style that I've noticed on like your website. I think that'd be kind of what I want to do. Can you just give me some tips and hints?
So I like that, because I actually started doing that the last couple of weeks. because I am, again, in a new market
Yeah.
in the DMV region up in Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Northern Virginia. So, obviously I'm advertising on Wedding Wire. I'm doing social media ads. I've got Carlos out there trying, doing guerrilla marketing and just like pushing his name because he is DJing. But anytime somebody asks for a card, he's always giving out his TLS card. So he's really pushing it as well. However, I did the same thing. I would actually went on Wedding Wire and I looked up at all the spotlight venues and the featured venues.
Yeah.
And I went to every single website, got their email, and I have a whole email written out saying, hey, would love to chat with you guys. We're brand new to the market, not brand new to weddings. We've got hundreds of reviews to prove to you that we're not a Joe Schmo event company. Would love, I would love to set up a time to do a Zoom call just to kind of introduce myself and my team. I've had, I think, a couple I've probably sent out probably 20 different emails to different venues and wedding planners too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess it is wedding season there right now. But I had maybe one or two responses. But believe me, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna continue reaching out.
Yeah.
And I know it's gonna take time, but so I like that idea of just cold calling and cold emailing,
and
doing
it
all
was
this.
great and things, and people were receptive. And if they weren't, hey, that's fine. I'm gonna find someone else and things, and they'll guide you along that way.
Yeah.
I like that so many that were receptive of you because
it was
as I
great.
said, my beginning was, oh no, we're good, and there wasn't people that just didn't happen. So it's nice to see that camaraderie change in the industry where people are more welcoming because they're realizing you can't always do this on your own.
Yeah, I love it when a DJ will reach out to me and saying, hey, I would love to join your team. I'm a DJ. I have this much experience. Would love to chat with you further. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
And even if they don't have a lot of experience, what I love about you, Tim, is that you still bring them on and you help them grow and you teach them and you guide them and you set them up for success. And then, such as like Joey, you can move off and do your own thing if that's what you choose to do. But otherwise, you are under a very, very well-oiled umbrella of just learning and growing and teaching and from your aspect of what you've done, and then they may bring something that you learn from.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. I'm always learning. I'm always an open book because I know I never want to be the smartest person in the room.
Absolutely.
And if I am the smartest person in the room,
something's wrong.
Find a different room.
Yep.
Find a different room because that's why the DJs that I work with that are on my team, they are soundly and technically better than me in DJing in certain aspects. And so I learn from them. There are aspects that I'm much more knowledgeable than they are. And so I will, put my knowledge onto them as well. So I'm always one to learn and keep moving forward because everything's changing all the time. So I don't know everything. I can tell you that.
That's the kind of how I kind of approached it as well. I would even say to Adam, if you this is what the idea, but what are your thoughts? How do you see this? Do you think this would work? Or and it was always well, what if we tried this? And it was oh, okay. Because I will always tell you, I have my own angle and it's not always the best decision. I have ideas, but it's not always the best idea. So tell me what yours looks like. We can collectively come together with something. That's kind of how I've always kind of worked with my teams.
Yeah, and definitely. And I think it's nice too because you always get a breath of fresh ideas that way. You have something, and I still say that today with the people I work with is I never would have thought of it until you brought it to me a certain way, and now I can see it in a different light. And that's something I really enjoyed working with you with is because me being new, you would show me something I would have never thought of. And I hope I gave you some things too that it was maybe think of it like this kind of a thing. But that was something I really like is, especially now in the industry, it's a lot of let's share ideas. And do you know how to do this? Do you know a person for this? And you want to help each other. And that's something I noticed down here that I really like as well.
Maybe that came out of post-COVID.
Camaraderie.
Maybe that kind of came because we were all in that same silo of COVID wedding industry. And then we came out of it and we were just dead dog tired, right?
Exactly.
Afterwards, we were for a year and a half, we were just working our tails off. So we were all feeling it. And then I think once we all like realized, oh, we're all in this same even playing field, that we could connect a little bit more and differently. We could empathize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Were there any other things that you found when you were starting that helped you or?
So I think like finding a mentor would be a great thing. You know, the cold calling thing. Like I said, I tried to look for people that I felt I could learn from something. I wanted to be teachable, but I also wanted the people that I was connecting with to accept me, even though I didn't have a ton of experience, to still allow me room to breathe and room to grow. So that was definitely something. It's just finding someone that you think can be a mentor. And sometimes that's seeing someone you thought you would click with, and then it's, oh, whoops, not going to work out. But that's fine because, hey, they can maybe direct you to someone that they know in the industry. And that was something like I loved about working with you is because you taught me a ton of stuff in the time we were together. And I never felt belittled. I never felt like that's a dumb idea. Adam, why would you think of it?
Thank God.
Yeah. No. Oh my God.
And it was
Never in a million
like,
years.
We were like, oh wait, we should probably not do
We
that.
had, we had moments
those
of,
moments we
oh,
realized
wait
at
a
the same
minute.
time, like,
Oh, literally with the us. But, and so that's just, you have to find it. And always thinking, honestly, of having the people skill set, just always admitting from you. You have to be personable. You have to, feel professional, personable, and just that people can come to you and they know that you'll be that leader and that guide that they need. And so always just having those kinds of thoughts were things that I've picked up.
And I think the biggest thing that I learned from you, Adam, was because towards the end of my time at Bishop, I was just tired. Like I was tired, I was frustrated, I was a lot of things over a long course of time. And Adam was the reason why I continued to stay so long because it just made life at work so much better. But you taught me to go in with a little bit more calm ease because why is this, because it's like, for me, I'm holding all these other departments on my shoulders as far as like their opinions, their thoughts, why are you doing this? Why did this happen? Where is this? And you need to answer this and you need to raise this much money. So there was a bigger like load on me when it came to that. And I took a lot of what was important to those other departments really to heart to where it made me into a person that I didn't actually like. And I wasn't as approachable. I wasn't as easy to have a conversation with. And I didn't go into situations with like, okay, calm duck mentality, as I always say. So Adam was always that like grounding force for me, especially when you'd be like, okay, we got to have this conversation and it's not going to be good and we don't want to do this and da-da-da. Okay, well, you know what? It's going to be fine. Everything's going to be good. We're just going to go out there and we're just going to explain this and we're going to explain the rules or we're going to whatever. And I would just sit back and watch him and I would just soak all that in like, okay, lead in love. That's the Adam way. And so it's fun to find that person again now that I'm at the retreat Sarasota and I can do that without the sense of like, it's just I can breathe. But I do think of you all the time where I'm like, okay, what would Adam do?
I'm dead. How many emails have you written and had to delete there? Like I used to have to coach you in some emails there. We're not going to say it that way.
He's like, why don't you word it like this?
It sounds professional and snarky. You can do that. It'll be better for everyone.
He's the best at that. If you ever, like, I'm like, oh, you went for the jugular, but like
in
literally with a rose.
Way possible. It's my favorite.
Yeah. But yeah. So I think those are some really great tips.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
And
the takeaways I would say are, if you're looking to get into the industry and you've got some experience or no experience at all, call out to whatever industry you're looking to get into. If you're a DJ, you want to get into weddings, reach out to a DJ company that you feel best fits your vibe. I wouldn't just say reach out to any DJ company, but do your research.
Intentional.
And a good place to start is, I hate to say it, Wedding Wire or The Knot. Is to find out those companies that are out there.
Swell's
great.
List too.
Swell, So so reach out to companies if you're looking to become a planner or photography, video.
And do it now in the off season. Don't
Oh, yeah.
don't
Yeah.
do it
Don't
like
bog them down when
in
they're
October,
running around
November,
like
and
crazy.
December, because you're gonna get nowhere, and then you're gonna get frustrated,
Yep.
and that we don't want. We want you to have success, and we want you to have
Exactly.
that positive experience. So,
Yep.
and there's time to groom and teach you in the off season.
What we've also taken away from this is if you are an up-and-coming wedding planner, you need to reach out to Brandy and Adam as they start their own company with TLS Entertainment. It's going to be TLS Entertainment B&A.
DNA.
It's going to happen, people. I'm
So
telling
many
you.
things.
We're going to make it happen. And you don't need a venue. You don't need a venue. You don't need that stress because then...
Need and want.
No, but see, listen,
I
if you
think
get a
we've
venue...
always wanted a
Listen,
venue
if you get a
together.
venue, you're going to be working every single day, every
No,
single
'cause
weekend.
We have a team.
You're still going to be working every single day, every single
No,
weekend.
but we'll have a team.
We'll have a
because
team.
We'll have a
People are
team.
going to
Everyone
call you and be
loves us.
like, hey, the lights went out at the venue. Oh,
No,
I got
because
to go
there's a
change.
maintenance person, a security person. That's
They
gonna
will be
there
there
the
all
whole
the time. The whole time, child.
We've learned our lesson.
Yes, what kind of money do you have to get a venue and be able to pay all that stuff?
Watch
My
me.
husband's a doctor.
Anyway.
Okay, Kevin. Okay, we're coming for
Shout
that,
out, Mr.
for that-
Kevin.
for that bank account.
Uh,
You know what? Watch us. Just
You know what?
Give me 5 years. We're gonna boss up, level up, and do that damn thing.
There's something coming.
Fair enough.
And we have the same vision for a venue too, which is kind of really crazy and strange. We won't tell everybody our vision,
No, we
but
can't.
That's for another conversation.
yeah, and we don't want people to know.
No.
it's
No,
gonna
don't
come
steal
out
our
of nowhere.
ideas.
Mm-mm. All right, well, that's going to do it for us.
Is there anything trending, by the way? Are you seeing anything trend specifically?
Randomly, I will say summer weddings next year
Really?
In
Yeah.
Florida?
in Florida.
In the
June,
courtyard?
July, courtyard weddings with just like cocktail hour inside to like cool off for 5 minutes. I cannot tell you. The
Wait, are
amount.
you, so you're doing the weddings at Bishop, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Are you the one that's like, you're the ones that meeting with all the couples?
Yeah.
and
Yeah. I do like the touring.
Why have
and
I
stuff.
not gotten any leads?
You're on my recommendation
Am I,
list.
though?
You are, I swear. Brandy
Yes,
Harlan.
I made that list.
You
I'm
are
surprised he didn't bring up my middle name. He knows it.
Louise.
There it is.
Yeah. No,
So
I don't know.
I made the list before I said peace out. At this point, it is still intact.
It is intact. And you're number one under DJs. You are the
Yeah.
first spot
Yeah.
highlighted. Just wait for A and B. Just wait
Right.
for B and A.
B&A.
And then TLS will
A&B,
be there every
A&B,
weekend.
B&A. We're going to come with something really posh. I
It
know
will
it.
be.
Yeah. We got this, boo.
But yeah. Random trend vibe.
So that's weird.
It's
You know what else
weird.
is trending though for industry, and I might be like late to this game, but because I don't have a creative like co-partner in my office with me, I have to come up with all the creative content myself, right? For all of our socials and everything, for marketing, for Retreat Sarasota. And my brain just tends to be like, oh, I just can't come up with another thing to say and how to say it. The same thing you've said 50 million times. Chat GPT.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
But it's also, you got to
Everybody's
figure
like,
out how to use it, though.
Oh, it's the bomb. I was like, 30 prompts for a wedding venue in Florida surrounded by nature. Rental. Boom. And then you copy that bad boy in Excel and put it into Canva, and you already have your background open, and it makes 30 different slides for you. And then you just change out the pictures and fix the font, and then you're done. I was like, holy crapola. I'm very, very excited about ChatGPT.
She's so excited right now.
She is.
Did you know about ChatGPT?
Yes,
You told
everybody
me-
in the
you
world
told me about
knows.
it. I haven't ventured in a
Oh,
child,
it's
but
so good.
Everybody knows about it.
Everybody knows.
Everybody knows.
Well, then
The
why didn't you
secret's
tell
out.
me, Tim?
Because I'm not using it.
Why not?
Because I don't know how.
Oh, so I know how. And
You have
okay,
to do an
I'm gonna have to show-
instruction.
I'm going to show y'all how to do it.
Miss Brandy, you teach
I'll
us.
teach you. Miss Jackson, if you're nasty.
Miss Brandy, if you're nasty.
Anywho, that's going to do it for us.
Inside jokes.
This is the Scoop Weddings Unveiled. Tim Schaus, TLS Entertainment. Adam, thank you so much for joining us
Thank you.
today.
It's
been a
great.
pleasure.
Yeah.
And hopefully things continue to thrive over at Bishop and wherever you may, wherever your adventures take you. And Brandy, as always, it's been fun.
Yeah,
Anything else? That's it.
that's it.
We're gonna. That's it. All right, cool.
Peace and chicken.
There it is.
fingers.
Holla.